It's me, Juan Camilo, and today I'm gonna give some answers about the project text number one question that we got. And the very first question is, what is the general tone of the story? Well, I think the general tone of the story it's kinda serious, nonetheless, pity, and a little bit wistful. Because the narrator displays some important information about the story or what was happening in that story, which is the aperture of the communism gate. And I'd say it like in that way, pretty literally, because it's just for giving an example. I may also say that the theme goes from pity due to socio-economic issues told through our characters, expressions, and ideologies, to wistful, because we got this implicit plot and ending which make us believe that it will be a sort of transformation from communism to socialism, and that's actually the third question. Good. The second question is, if the title of the story is Wonder Under the Western Eyes, what do you think is the Western view of Eastern Europe that the narrator displays throughout the story? Well, I think they see how sad is the Eastern Europe because they got too much economic problems. And due to the oppression they are in, the Western may think that the Eastern got psychological issues or problems too. So I guess that this comparison make the Western people think how awful it is to live in the Eastern Europe. And if I had lived in that time, then actually I would think the same. I don't know, it's just my point of view, it's my opinion. The third question was about what is it, or what do you think about communism, socialism, and capitalism? Well, to be honest, I didn't know what to think about those terms before this, so I just looked for them and I got this. Communism is a social, political, and economic ideology and movement where there is no private owners, whose ultimate goal is the establishment of a community society, which is a socio-economic order structured upon the common ownership of the money and its state. Socialism is a range of economic and social system characterized by social ownership and democratic control of the means of production. By social ownership may refer to public ownership, cooperative ownership, citizen ownership of equality, and so on. By last, capitalism is an economic system based on private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit. Characteristics central to capitalism include private property, capital accumulation, voluntary exchange, and competitive markets. Well, that's actually one of the last questions that it's like, what is the economic system of that predominates on Colombia, which is capitalism. So the differences might be that the first one goes after an establishment and to own the money and the state. The second one, it's more like competitive setting. We're all gonna get the same things and those things. And the third one is to own things, tagging them as private. Whereas if you want to get your own things, you gotta fight for them, literally speaking. And then we got this question that it was about how the story includes capitalism versus communism. Well, it's actually really explicit. And we got a few examples of capitalism versus communism, where they told us that there is a paradigmatic economic system, which is capitalism, because it had success into people's lives. And it gained a sort of state that will take place for some period of time, being used as a primary resource. So it's like the communism actually lost and the communism won, because the communism, well, I shouldn't be saying this, but communism in that time then sucks. And capitalism, were great for the citizens. So that's why they make that such a comparison. Well, then we got this the question that it says, what is the economic system that predominates in Colombia? Well, briefly, Colombia, it's capitalism. Just as that. Even though if it's democratic, because there's private ownership, capital accumulation, competitive markets, and so. There are also people who say that Colombia is really corrupted. And that's a truth that we already know. And the last question was, with the economic system, I will affiliate more. And I would say that is socialism, because I can see how great is the cooperative work and equivalent property. Just as we see on TV, broadcasting about how China is improving themselves because of being the leader of socialist states. And I think, to be honest, that's pretty awesome. Well, guys, I'm done here. Thanks for watching, and see you around. Don't forget to leave a comment, and well, have a nice weekend.